Good afternoon, students. Today's topic is about agriculture. What is agriculture? Agriculture describes the practice of growing crops or raising animals. Someone who works as a farmer is in the agriculture industry. Here's a picture below of agriculture. What are types of agriculture? There are so many types of agriculture, but I'm going to mention only three. Number one, subsistence farming, growing crops primarily for family consumption. In this point, or in this case, it's about households or individuals growing their own crops, their own vegetables for themselves. Point number two, industrialized agriculture, large-scale merchandise farming, often using technology and inputs to increase production. Okay, when they say often using technology and inputs to increase production, they mean that sometimes in agriculture they use technology so that their production of vegetables and fruits can be produced in a larger scale or quickly. Point number three, commercial agriculture, producing crops and livestock for sale in markets. Here they're producing vegetables and fruits so that they can sell them to larger markets like ShopRite and Pick n Pay. There are also advantages and disadvantages of agriculture. But firstly, let me show you my practical example of agriculture. I've tried to be creative in this section and to show you that what is agriculture in my own understanding. So I've created this section for you to see that I've included soil, grass, so that you can get a picture of what I'm talking about. I don't have crops or vegetables that I can post or paste here, but I've tried to include soil and grass for nature. There's also a below picture of vegetables that are produced in farming for larger markets. Okay, now let's go to advantages and disadvantages of agriculture. I'll start by explaining advantages. Then I'll explain disadvantages. Number one of advantages. Here in advantages, we look at the positive or the good inputs that agriculture have in our society or in our livelihood. Number one, food security. Agriculture is the primary source of food production, ensuring a stable and abundant food supply for the production. This means agriculture helps us to have food. It helps us to ensure that we have enough food for the population, for the supply. Yes. Point number two, economic opportunities. It creates jobs and income generation opportunities, particularly in rural areas, and supports economic growth. In this point, it's very straightforward. It creates jobs. It creates income. People from rural areas can be able to make income for themselves. It can create jobs. Youth that is unemployed in rural areas can participate in this section. Point number three, soil health. Crops rotation and other agricultural practices can improve soil health and reduce erosion, preventing soil degradation. Okay. In this point, it's about soil being held. It's about reducing the erosion, preventing soil degradation. Okay, let's go to disadvantages. What are disadvantages? Disadvantages are negative, or there are less inputs in the society, which means mainly within agriculture we don't focus mainly in disadvantages, because of, yes, in everything you do there will be good and bad, but the disadvantages doesn't mean that we should stop farming, we should stop the agriculture industry. Point number one: water population. Runoff from agriculture fields can contaminate water bodies with fertilizers, pesticides, and pollutants. Point number two: soil degradation. Intensive farming practices like monoculture can deplete soil nutrition, leading to erosion and reduced fertility. Okay, in this point, it's all about soil health, what I've explained in disadvantages. But here it tells us that if we use soil, or if we imply soil degradation, our soil can no longer be fertile enough to grow our crops. Our soil can no longer be fertile enough to produce a larger scale of vegetables and fruits. Number three: climate change. Agriculture contributes to greenhouse gas emissions through fertilizer use, livestock digestion, and land use change. Okay, climate change. It can cause our climate to be ununderstandable. It can cause a lot of land use changes, because of we in agriculture they use a bigger scale of land. Then, to conclude my topic, I will describe my favorite section. What are the benefits of agriculture? Agriculture can help reduce poverty, raise income, and improve food security for 80% of the world's poor who live in rural areas and work mainly in farming. Okay, the benefits are easy, because of they tell us that in rural areas they use this industry for them to be able to create jobs. They use this industry to be able to live and create their own income. This 80% represent that in the rural areas it is whereby it is the where the agriculture industry is most popular, because of people depend on farming to live. People depend of farming so that they can live. Okay guys, I'm gonna wrap up this topic. Thank you for everything. Thank you for giving me your time to make me explain to you what is agriculture. Thank you. Have the best day.